What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my coverage of this year's GenreBlast 2023 Film Festival. Today I'm taking a look at a 2018 horror screenlight film called Livescream. I have to admit that this is a review for a film that will not be featured in this year's festival, so it's a bit of a special review because the sequel to it will be presented as a world premiere during this year's GenreBlast. And so I had to go back, way back, and find the original movie first, which I did over on Amazon Video, and I gotta say, guys, I was kind of impressed. Let's talk about Livescream. Livescream is a 2018 horror screenlight film that is more or less about a guy that's playing a horror video game and streaming it over on Twitch. The catch is that whatever horror game that he's in the middle of playing is evil, and every time that he dies in the game, one of his followers watching back home gets killed in real life as well. And kind of like in Jumanji, he can't leave the game until he finishes it, which he has to do without losing lives if he wants to keep his followers, who also can't leave, from dying. Boy, was I a fan of this film, tell you what, especially from a behind the scenes technical perspective, and as somebody who has tackled making my own screenlight film as well, I can tell you that the writer-director here, Michelle Iantuano, sorry if I got that name wrong, did something really special with Livescream, and I'll try to break that down here. As I mentioned before, the format of this film mostly goes off of the concept of a live stream over on Twitch. So you have a guy in the upper right hand corner playing the actual game, and he's there the entire time. And right below him is the chat for everybody watching back home and typing on their keyboards. And on the right hand side of the screen, you have the actual game that he's playing. This is a format that does not change from beginning to end, which means for the most part, the film really truly feels like it was done in one take. I know that it wasn't. I spoke to the director who told me that it was more or less done in 3 takes, but that's also pretty much equally as impressive once you learn how they pulled that off. Turns out a big chunk of pre-production was ultimately crafting the games from the ground up in Unreal, which is something that the director did herself, and then she recorded the gameplay, which then threw it into the movie and had the actor playing the gamer in the film, Gunnar Willis. He simply reacted to that recorded gameplay as if he was playing it. To me, that's a lot of impressive, quick, on your feet improvisation for a long period of time. I mean, improv's hard, guys. It's hard. Unless you're doing comedy, then it's a little bit easier. But if you're doing something a lot more serious like this, where you're in a horror film and you're trying to convey certain emotions to the audience, such as sadness, anger, or fear, that's impossible. I have no idea how they pulled that off in like 3 takes. So Gunnar did a fantastic job there, and you can't convince me otherwise. Coming at it from somebody that might not understand how much work actually went into that, you might not love the acting in the film. If you're an average moviegoer, you might think that that acting is kind of mediocre and iffy at times. And I understand that, but you try filming an entire film in 3 takes and not screw up within the first 2 minutes. I've tried that. It's not easy. So I have nothing to give this film but massive props. The parts of this movie dealing with the video game that was specifically created for the film looks legit. It looks like real video games that have maybe not current PS5 level graphics, but they look more so like classic games such as GoldenEye 64 or Doom or Slender Man, or likewise, games that you still play even though the graphics have aged a bit because you have nostalgia for it. That's how the games look and feel and act in the film, and I have a lot of fun with that, especially when certain games were obvious nods to classic horror films. And because the game looks legit, as well as the fact that it feels like a feature-length film that was done in one shot, the editing is clean. And like I said, it's a film that I was more or less impressed with. Now, is it perfect? No. Is all of the acting as a whole convincing in terms of the audience believing that there is a viable threat? No. But it's fun. I was engaged. I was impressed, like I said. And overall, I was glad that I watched it, and I'm equally as excited to see what they come up with for a sequel now that it has been 5 years. I scored Livescream a B- letter grade, final overall score of 72%, 72 out of 100 possible stars, which in general means that this film is decent, and that's a score created from a scoring spreadsheet that I use with everything, including all the biggest Hollywood films out there. And for a low budget film like this, to score 72% means that this little indie really has something special going on for it. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, please go check it out. It's currently available over on Amazon Video, which is where I rented it, but I may go back and actually buy the thing just because I enjoyed it as much as I did. If you've seen it though, guys, please let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and the bell to be notified when I come out with my next review for GenreBlast 2023. And until then, peace out.